Intro, start. Hey guys, it's me, Spencer, coming to you with another Fury Road. Going to get Cohen. Oh boy, he's off in his gummy ship. He's chasing after the forces of Xehanort, and I'm gonna have to take him to the Nightmare Before Christmas land to collect Zenny and potions, and definitely star heart keys. So yeah, he's still been playing. He's been playing. I'm getting honked to by a guy, and I'm waving at him. He's loving that I'm doing a podcast while I'm driving. Anyway, getting Cohen. It's having a fun time. I wonder who those guys were. I'm sure they didn't know me. They might have, but I doubt it. So yeah, I don't know. We're just doing it. Gonna do the proper intro when Cohen gets here. Won't that be fun? I mean, probably no more fun than normal, but it'll be something. That happened. Let's see. Sometimes we do a podcast. Sometimes we do a podcast. Mostly we do a podcast about every week. Sometimes we do some segments on here, and I don't know if Cohen likes them, to be honest. So let me just knock one of these out. UCB&D. This tip is coming from improvencyclopedia.org. It's David Alger's 10 tips, number 9. For serious and emotional scenes, focus on characters and relationships. A long-form improv set should contain a variety of scenes. Some scenes will be emotional, some will be tense, and some should be funny. The easiest way to make a scene serious is by focusing on the relationships of those on stage. So that's just, kind of making things relevant to your characters is a way to apply that to D&D. So what does that mean? I mean, it means focus on your characters. Obviously, D&D has different things. It has combat and social and exploration, but all of those things have to engage specifically with your characters, and you can focus on just making those things. But if they don't intersect with your characters in dynamic and interesting ways, it just doesn't really amount to anything. And I think that also just means that no matter what you're doing, make sure that the focus is on your characters first and how your characters can interact with the content. So, maybe you're building some combat scenes, and maybe it's like, well, why don't I strip, some of this combat down and some of it out, and then add something that really focuses on characters or lets the characters into it, or maybe reroute the combat just so it's more involves your characters. So you can see why Cohen doesn't like this segment. But hopefully he'll get in my car soon, and we can battle the forces of Xehanort together and kill Heartlesses. Do you kill them? I mean, they seem like just innocent people, right? And making sure our nobodies aren't used for malign purposes. So we'll see how that's going in just a bit. Hello and welcome to Master Manual Fury Road, a practical guide for insiders, guide to D&D and podcast for DMs, GMs, and just wanna BMs. Fury Road, as well as other folks too. This is a podcast where we answer questions and talk about Dungeons and Dragons.
And we live, we die, we live again.
Mostly from a Fury Road perspective.
Hell yeah, everything is Fury Road themed this week.
I'm Fury Road.
I'm Cohen Edenfield.
And yeah.
Only I have identity. You're the bit.
Yeah. And we're heading
That's Spencer
west,
Crittenden over
right.
there.
No, Fury Road.
Yes.
And we're heading westbound onto Victory Boulevard.
And you can't catch us because we're already in the future.
Oh, yeah. We're already gone. We're gone in 3 days.
Our light trails hang behind us like Akira, like snowflakes in a neon fog.
Or like Tron, to destroy our foes through collisions.
Yeah, boy. I guess Akira really ripped off Tron, huh?
I couldn't tell
what
you.
What a hack! When I was writing and drawing the manga Akira, I had no idea that I would be so hungry this morning.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
hungry for ripping off Tron.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Man, Tron, got a complicated relationship with Tron.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I had a high school teacher who was always talking about how good Tron was. And I was like, man, this guy, let's see what they got.
Mm-hmm.
And I rented it because this was back in the day when one did such a thing. I rented the DVD and I was like, this is what I'm going to do with my Friday evening is I'm going to get some friends and we're going to watch Tron. And it is back-breakingly boring.
Yeah.
To a high schooler in 2004. Like I'm sure it's better. It's probably better now than it was then, and it was probably better in the 80s than it was in 2004.
Oh,
but
yeah.
2004 really hit the sweet spot of this isn't old enough that I'm impressed by
Sure.
it. You know what I mean?
I can even imagine a 1997 person being relatively impressed by it, but not a 2004 person.
Yeah, I had already seen Star Wars. There's a lady dancing. She is dressed as the Statue of Liberty.
Oh,
and
yeah.
She's got some moves, I think.
She's a hashtag getting it.
Yeah, she's you know what? She's getting that bread.
Oh, yeah.
That crucial bread.
Stacking that paper.
What kind of fucking games you been playing, buddy?
What have I? Nothing.
All right.
I just watched my friend Yusong, who's been streaming on Twitch, so check out Yusong's Twitch stream, but I've been watching him play Minecraft. I'm like, I want to play Minecraft so
shit.
bad.
Let's make a server.
Oh, yeah.
For the Master Manual Discord.
We'll destroy everybody. Yeah, I think they've been talking about wanting to make a Minecraft server.
All right, that seems agreeable.
You doing any nerd stuff? I've just been reading the same book, the Undermountain book. It's still fun. I'm on the level 9.
Nice.
Yeah.
I am. Is it holding up?
Yeah,
do you dig it?
I really do dig it. Like, there's a way you could use the book where you just take a single dungeon level and just use it as its own smaller dungeon. And you really just could do that to every single. So you could pick apart the book and then just seed it into your campaign as like kind of side time, off time, and then go find the dungeon, and then once they find the dungeon, it's a level from the book. So that I was just thinking that could be an interesting thing. I don't know, but it's I love it. I love reading the dungeon books. This is why I love Dungeons and Dragons. I just love reading the books and thinking about them.
Me too. And I love that there's that just you can do that in this game because you're not having to program it in. You're setting it up, which means that you can just Fury Road-esque pick the things that you like and cobble them to your death car. That is your campaign, and your players are strapped to it, and you are draining their blood to sustain you.
I always thought it would be a really cool move to mount like spark plugs or like lighters to your car hood right in front of the windshield wiper jets, and then fill your jets with lighter fluid.
Oh,
so you can blast gouts of fire from your car by pressing the windshield wiper fluid button.
But they would be gouting over your own windshield.
They could be, but generally it depends on the model. Like, I don't think I could do it in these cars because they're kind of built in, but my old car, you could twist it around to kind of have them facing forward, which would be pretty cool.
That would be pretty cool.
Just like blasting twin jets of fire. I'm like Sebulba over here.
Oh man, he was such a cheater.
Oh,
but
yeah.
He was the only cool part of that movie. Well, him and the droidicas the first time you saw them when they like rolled out.
Oh,
anyway,
yeah. That was my favorite part, is just robots of Star Trek.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm standing by that.
Everybody loves the robots of Star Trek. That's what we're talking about. Sebulba and Star Trek.
What about you, though?
What have I been doing? Oh, I am still gradually edging myself with Kingdom Hearts. I have had it for 10 days now, and I have played I've gotten, I think, maybe a third of the way into it.
Wow.
I know there are people who beat it in like a couple of days. I just
sure.
like I take the thing is It's the last entry in a series that I started when I was like 13.
It's the last? Is this good? This
Kingdom
is
Hearts
it?
3 is like the end. It's the end of this story. It's it's
Of
the theory is that
Sora's
it's going to wrap everything up.
story.
Yeah, the Dark Seeker Saga is what they call it.
Oh boy.
So the thing is, it's like I know I have had this happen before, where I had a series that I was really into, and the moment that I finished the last piece of like the core story, my fascination with it dies on
Right.
the table. Like it happened with Harry Potter. It had like as soon as I finished that, like it would,
yeah.
that took up so much space in my head until I
Yeah.
finished the 7th one, and I was like, all right, I'm done.
All right.
Answers gone. Happened a little bit with Lost, although I've come back to Lost because I like the character stuff. But yeah, and so it's like it's the last piece that I have, and I've been waiting like 13 years for this one specifically, and I'm just taking my time. I'll beat a world, and when I beat a world, I go to the one previous and like get all the little like hidden things that I can find. And
Right.
I'm just really taking my time, and also,
Oh yeah.
if I find a world on the map and there is a movie that it is based on that I have not seen, I then have to go watch the movie because I want to see the movie before I
Right.
see it played
In the
out
game.
in cutscenes
What,
at half pieces.
What's a world? Just pop off a good world you've seen.
The Kingdom of Corona, which is from Tangled, was
Okay.
gorgeous. Like the entire thing was like they're doing a really good job, I think, of like something that they didn't do as much in earlier Kingdom Hearts entries. I think was very the style of how you're playing, like very like what a world is asking you to do.
Right.
So, for instance, like the Toy Story world is almost like you start off in Andy's room, but then you go to the toy store, and then it's this 3-level Toy Story with like where all the stores are closed at first, and you have to like get in, and you keep returning to this central hub that is like has a tower you can climb up and shortcut across, and it's its own, like honestly, it's like if you delved into that enough and expanded that up, that could be its own small game like back in the day.
Right.
And you get in the robots and you can shoot, and it's neat. And then you
I just want to say we are heading to Toy Story World now.
Where are we heading?
To Toy Story World.
Oh shit.
To face Xehanort himself.
Xehanort, yeah, the boy.
We're gonna target lock and rhythm blast and
Yeah, all the good stuff.
use Curaga.
Yeah, well, you if you want to cure yourself and your allies maximum.
And we're gonna get a Kingdom Blade key.
Yes. Excellent.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We have to get all of them. There's I think. I don't know.
That's what we're doing right now.
We're on our road.
We're on our way. We got our Zenny.
Yeah, we got.
Is it Zenny?
It's just gold.
Oh,
no, it's
okay.
money.
Money, right, it's money.
Zenny is, what is that from?
A lot of other.
Oh, that's
games.
from DBZ.
Yeah.
Okay, so for instance, that's like how the Toy Story world is set up. But
Right.
then you go to the Kingdom of Corona, which is all in the woods, and that's like a long, like a trek between some. It's like the idea is you're traveling from the tower that she's trapped in all the way to the town that it's the path that they take in the movie.
Yeah.
So you'll go through these like hallway-esque things, and then you'll hit these like natural hub spaces where you're like, where you're starting and you know where you're trying to get to, but you're like, oh, I got to navigate these cliffs. I got to crisscross back and forth across these cliffs. And so, and then, you go to the Monsters Inc. world where it's all inside a factory. So the lighting changes, and like not the lighting, but the color, the vibe, the way that you're moving through the world, like, oh, in this everything's flat surfaces here because it's a factory, but this one's all varied terrain, and I'm trying to like crisscross across trees. They're really using the fact that they're in all these different areas to the best of their ability. And
right.
I just got to the Frozen world, and it's like you keep trying to get up this mountain and getting like knocked down and like having to go back up a different way, and
It sounds like a bummer.
No, there is a part where you get knocked off for like the 5th time. And
But you
Sora
get
says,
up again?
Oh, yeah, and because they're never going to keep you down. And Sora says, it's a good thing the snow is so soft. I could do this 1,000 times.
And then you do.
Yeah, it does feel that way. Anyway,
That's awesome.
It's got some really good design, and I like the way that they do the things they do. I like the way that they are not just sort of funneling you through different, joylessly funneling you through different Disney worlds. It really feels like they sat down and said, okay, what is this world like? How do we make this different from the other worlds?
Well, in terms of like brand integration, like joyless brand integration, I heard there was a pretty joyless brand integration that felt kind of forced and ham-fisted. I heard Helga Cruciform showed up in the game.
Yeah, she did. She showed up. We really put ourselves in a bad situation because it costs so much, guys. We had a fully rendered. We had to sign away all the rights. You don't often have to pay someone to put your thing in their game and also lose the rights to it, but we sure did.
Right, but we worked out a deal that we could pay them in Helga Cruciform names.
Yeah, so we gotta come up with quite a few right now before we get to wherever we're going.
To Toy Story World.
Right, Toy Story World.
To defeat Xehanort, right?
That's where he is.
Because he lives there?
He was there for a minute.
Yeah, okay.
The young Xehanort. He was...
I don't know how it goes, but I believe it.
Yeah.
Are you kind of like tracking like the shit he's done through the different worlds?
Well, you're going to these different worlds, and the neat thing is in each one is like a... The thing is, they've had so many of these damn games that on each of these worlds is like the main antagonist of one of these like games or side games who's like causing trouble. So it doesn't feel like in the second one, it's like, oh, you're fighting Organization 13, and on each world is a different member of them. And it's like, okay, that's fine. I don't really know who these people are, but it's like, oh, Marluxia's here? I hate that guy.
Right.
I spent 80 hours fighting that guy when I was 15 on the Game Boy Advance. Anyway.
Wow, it's just crazy to think about.
Yeah, it's a long... They are drawing on a lot of work that they have done to make me like the game.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, Helga Cruciform. Okay.
Johnny Allstate.
Pinko Redrive.
Carmen Valerian Solaste.
That's a good one. Chico Tazde.
Shelly Gasoline Station.
Popeye's Starbucks. Starbuck Popeye. Oh, that's good because that's two sailors.
Talvadar Hillock.
Carl Jr.
Warby Tower.
Ooh, that's good. All Amida.
Oh, nice. Allevian Strainsmore.
Captain Cisco.
Bernie Marwins.
Okay, I'm going to close my eyes so I won't just be pulling from stuff we're looking at.
Either way.
Let's see.
We're just passing Monster Inc. World.
Marluxia Kingdom Hearts.
That's cool. John, nope, Cena. You go.
Dawn Tesseract.
Bertrand Montessori.
That's good. That's good. That's good. That's really good.
No,
it's very good. I give up.
Okay. I did it.
Yeah.
I did it. And not just because the cops are pulling us over.
No, that's okay. Roll for initiative. I'm going to kill a police officer.
I use expeditious retreat.
All right. Fucking floor it. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
It's time for a question. Oh, this is a good question.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I like it. It's titled Printmaking in D&D. I'm not going to read the TLDR at the beginning. I'm just going to read the question.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I'm a 5e DM and an artist with a master's in printmaking. Hello. I like printmaking. And I used to specialize in letterpress printing, like the old Gutenberg printing presses you see Ben Franklin using, some more modern ones. Side note, I actually have some experience with this because I got my master's at Texas A&M University, where they have a whole section devoted to printing presses and interregnum manuscripts and all that kind of stuff, and it's neat.
That's cool.
Before these presses came along, any manuscript would have to be handwritten by monks who basically lived off beer and mead, and literacy was rare. What do you think about the existence of printing presses in D&D and the impact they had on literacy in these worlds? It stands to reason that mass production of reading material was nearly a requisite for mass literacy. Do wizards create the words and scrolls magically, or do you find that they're all handmade by adventurers and wizards? How would you handle the existence of a modern printing press being used for spell scrolls creation? So what do you think? And then there's some nice stuff. This podcast is the best, and I wish you guys all the best in continuing. I can't wait for each new episode. Easily the best resource for a real-time DM chat.
I hope that's not true.
Well, yeah, no, I think it is. So here's what we're gonna. Here's my question. Would you like to hear a brief summary of how printing presses led the first time that England killed its own king?
I mean, sure.
So, printing presses are happening. It's happening. So it's what, 1600s?
Truly, no idea.
Specific details I'm losing, but I have the general thrust, and that's the interesting part.
Yeah, right.
So what happened is, printing presses are happening. All of a sudden, people before printing presses, it was easier to put down revolutions because to get information out that, like, hey, we should get together and kill the king, you had to be brave enough to say that in front of a group of people, and at like a bar, and like you might just get arrested,
right?
But once they arrested you, the information that you were saying would stop existing. But with printing presses, all of a sudden you could just print like your call out posts about the king, and all of a sudden there are these after the printing press, there's this period where
they called it the Flame Wars.
Yeah, John Milton was a very
troll.
Yeah, he was a noted revolutionary. He wrote a bunch of stuff about actually he wrote about how you shouldn't kill the king, but
that's fair.
So people are printing all these pamphleture. It becomes a huge thing. People are printing their call out zines about the king,
right?
And they talk themselves into a fervor, and they actually depose the king and imprison him. And then they're like, well, I guess we got to kill him. So they did.
Right.
And then Walter Cromwell becomes Lord Protectorate for 40 years. It's called the Interregnum period. And it is as soon as he dies, though, they're like, you know what? That actually sucked. Let's have a king again. Oh, hey, look, topless maids.
Oh yeah.
Hot topless maids.
They post up there now.
It's nuts to me that the topless maids van just has topless maids on the side of it, and it's a very sleazy van, because I feel like if you were gonna want topless maids, you wouldn't want the fucking topless maid van parked in front of your apartment, completely calling you out.
And I don't know that they use that van. I always assume that van's just a mobile advertisement that they park.
You're probably right,
but I mean,
wouldn't it dissuade you from calling that?
And it does, and it has.
Yeah,
so far.
Yeah,
I mean, I wanted to, but that van. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
but hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, I guess what I'm saying is the way I would handle it would be that I would, if I suddenly had people printing stuff, I would not lean towards printing magic. I would lean towards, this is going to create revolutionaries. This is going to this is going to this is going to turn Waterdeep on its head. There was so much printing happening when the printing press was really getting rolling, and the pamphlets and everything, that they ran out of paper in London. They even ran out of the stuff they used to make paper. Just completely ran out.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Was there a run on paper?
Yeah, because they were making so many damn pamphlets.
Yeah.
So, anyway, yeah, I would lean towards revolutionary stuff, but I guess magic.
Well, so to me, I feel like the process of scroll creation, is a physical crafting process that starts with paper, but is more like painting or something, and then, but even more like different than painting because it's magic. So I feel like there's kind of what do you call it? Dogmatic phrases you might say, and incantations you would chant, and rituals you would enact during different points in the process that invest magic into the thing. that's not a classic. It's not just printed. So there are magical inks involved, but I would imagine if you had a printing press that had all the magical inks loaded up properly, printing that straight onto a scroll wouldn't necessarily make it into a magic scroll. If it did, I think that's a magical quest hook purpose of a plot line.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, this guy figured out how to make a magical printing press. And so maybe people are trying to copy it, people are trying to steal it or whatever, but that would be a pretty powerful thing, because I think it would basically be like being able to print wizards, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't be quite that level, but in terms of like, it would be a lot more powerful than just printing words, because of like the ability to essentially replicate fire. I mean, it's like being able to Xerox like an atom bomb or something,
Yeah.
you know?
I mean, the way that it works in 5th edition, at least, is when you make a scroll, it takes longer. And I think it uses up it uses more than just a single spell slot to make the scroll. I think there's I can't remember, but there's some kind of additional cost. It's more than even just casting.
It used to be XP, but I think in 5e it's not XP anymore, so it's other things to kind of make up that.
I think it's a time,
blood cost.
A time cost
right,
thing.
probably months or something.
Yeah. And then
no, I think it's like multiple days, but I mean, that's still hard. Like, you really have to commit a couple months if you want to prep for, using scrolls.
Yeah, there's a reason that they're usually just found.
Right.
Because the thing is it's a way to transcend the limits, the single day limits of what your character is able to do.
Right.
Especially because wizards don't recover spell slots when they do a short rest. But scrolls are, the fact that when you read a scroll and cast it, it's used up, I think speaks to the fact that it is more than just the letters being inscribed. Like you say, there's something being drained. What if they've got this printing press, but they are draining, what if it works because they're kidnapping wizards and using their blood as the ink, and then it works.
Right.
It's like that kind of thing. It's like there would need to be some additional hook that wasn't just...
Well, just that's if you're making that the thing, that's just the world building choice, that it's it's gonna guide a lot of your thought process, because it's not just oh yeah, printing press came to D&D and now wizards can print scrolls and everyone can print scrolls and everyone's loving it. I think it would just that would cause massive calamity almost.
Yeah. And in fact, a lot of the spell books, generally the idea is that your spell book is not supposed to be something that could easily be read by anyone else. It's written in kind of code and your own personal shorthand.
Oh yeah. I was in the Underworld book. They had a book written in Qualith, which is Mind Flayer language, and a book written in Invisible Ink, which seemed like an interesting thing.
Huh? How do you read it?
You gotta use see invisibility.
Oh, motherfuckers! How
Sorry,
clever.
I cut you off.
No, that's good. I like it.
I love it. But yeah, I think there was one other aspect of that question. It was how do you use it? Was there?
Oh, okay.
I think at the very top in the TLDR, maybe I can't remember.
Oh yeah. There's a second part. I was particularly interested in the way you both ad-libbed the alternate mummy lore in your second episode, and thought it would be narratively rewarding to have a variety of potency for the spells and incantations written on the linens of the mummy. Perhaps based on the method of text production, mass-produced prints of the incantation might have a lower rate of true success than those written in blood, etc. Yeah.
That would be cool.
That kind of thing is I also like the idea of maybe when you print the scrolls, they don't really work as well, or maybe it takes more. Maybe it takes more out of you. Maybe it drains your very life force,
right?
Because you've essentially created the spell version of I don't know. You've created the web and it's going to catch something in there.
That's cool. What if there's a little circle that's printed on the scroll and you prick your thumb and put the blood in the circle and it activates a circuit board and charges up the thing, and then it's not just a drop of blood, but that sucks your life force out and it and activates the scroll, and then that would really be a military tool that a lot of people would want access to.
Yeah, you could conscript people at that point.
Oh yeah, who would? I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I'll serve anybody who can make me shoot fireballs like a couple times a day. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, and then like it's draining your life, but not fast. If you drain like a year off somebody's life, or like a few months off somebody's life, that's not going to show immediately.
No,
that might take like a while for people to realize. That's cool.
Oh
yeah, like the very popular and beloved movie, The Covenant.
Oh yeah. Or The Box. If you press it, someone will die.
Nice. What was that? Oh, The Box.
I think that the movie was called The Box.
Or The Button or something.
Oh, yeah. It might have been called The Button.
Yeah, you get $1 million and somebody's going to die. Oh, is he aggressive?
He's just kind of on my ass.
We're driving in the horse hills.
Oh,
that
yeah.
guy's pissing.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Hey, that guy's pissing. Do we
37, huh? That means, you know what that means?
It's time for another question?
No, it's time for a break.
Time for a break.
Oh, yeah. We got to keep the gas full.
All right. Sandworms.
What?
Can't live without them. Can't stand them.
Oh, no.
Has this ever happened to you? You died, and now sandworms won't let you leave your house.
Oh, yeah. The other day I died, and I never leave the house without a contingency raise dead spell.
Yeah.
So I died. Oh, man. I got hit by a truck. But you know that the sandworms be smelling that contingency spell magic. Now I'm trapped in my house.
Yeah, they won't let you leave. They wrap around the house in kind of a seductive, weird way. They're into it, and they look both like the ones from the Beetlejuice cartoon and also from the Beetlejuice movies. So there's a real different vibe. You never know what you're going to get. But we have sandworm spray.
Sandworm spray.
It's the perfect thing. You spray it on yourself, and then when they eat you, they get horrible diarrhea, and you are quickly shit out without getting digested.
Oh, yeah. It's the quickest way in or out of a sandworm. Guaranteed.
Yeah. In fact, it's so fast, some people just are into it.
Oh, yeah. Most people are into it.
It's the safest vor experience that we can offer.
It's the one-of-kind vor experience, and we gotta say, this is a side effect, but for the vor freaks, this is actually a plus side. It smells like mating. It smells like sandworm mating stuff.
Oh, yeah, that is how they eat.
So, if you spray it on, the sandworms show up. Oh, man, you're about to have a vortastic journey.
That's my favorite film.
The Vortastic Journey?
Oh, yeah.
The Vortastic Voyage? The Fantastic Voyage?
Fantastic Voyage. Yep, that's the name of this episode, I guess. Here we go. We're really going down a dark road.
So the next time you want to get eaten by sandworms, or the next time you think you're about to get eaten by sandworms, just spritz on a couple squirts of sandworm spray. You'll be right as rain as no time.
And use the checkout code Goblin Flakes.
Goblin Flakes. They're
you
rocks.
You need them.
And we're back.
Sure did enjoy that suite of products.
Oh, I did as well. It was sweet.
All right. Oh, there's a sign that says flooded, but it is obsolete.
Yeah, it's not quite flooded, but you see this kind of... Oh, it's hard to see. There's this crack in this pavement that's just from the rain and people driving over the water.
Wow.
I think it's that when you drive over the water, it forces the water down into the cracks, and then it's like sluicing crack. It's just like sandblasting it. I don't know.
It's nuts.
Yeah. Do you want to answer another question, or do you want to do a loot table? I mean, we really haven't set up for loot table.
Yeah, we don't have dice or the cards. Let's take a pass on loot table this week.
Oh, yeah.
All right, DM question. Hey guys, love the show and the stuff you both work on. I've recently finished a run of Curse of Strahd and never really went to the horror angle before. Do you have any advice on making your villains scary?
No. Next question. No,
Okay.
do you have any? I mean, I think I don't know. You think of Sephiroth or people that are just do horrible things, and you're like, God damn, what do I do? Or Pyramid Head.
I think what we have to distinguish here is between making a villain scary and making a villain hateable.
Right.
Because you can make your villain I think that something that makes a villain scary is to not overuse them.
Right.
Is to have their presence.
It's not overbearing.
Yeah, and like don't have them show up too often.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, the more you survive an encounter with someone, the less frightening they are.
Right.
And that's just true.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's like you can see this in any of your long running horror tinged serial television programs. Like you got your Buffy, Spike shows up, he's scary. After a while, not so scary. You've seen this guy a lot. Same with the Master, or you got your it's just the more you see something, the more familiar it becomes. The scariest
right.
the scariest game I've ever played, and my favorite game.
It's just someone screaming into your face.
Yeah, is Soma.
What's
it's not
that?
my favorite game, but it is a very scary game. It is a game. It's hard to go too much into it without spoiling it.
Okay.
But you are, let's just say you're in an underwater research station, and things have really gone off the rails. By God.
Oh no!
But one of the monsters that you have to deal with kills you if you look at it for too long. That's how you die.
Right.
And it is sort of hunting you through this area that you have to go into. One of the big things that Soma does that makes it so effective is it doesn't railroad you into situations so much as it like unlocks a door and then makes you walk through it and see the terrible things that are there.
Right.
But it's like it forces this is a thing that I think is very important for horror in general, is make your characters sort of complicit in what is happening. You see this in a lot of horror films.
Right. They make mistakes, right?
Yeah. It's why horror movies have people warned early on. It's like before they go up to the haunted house, there's the old man at the gas station who says, you don't want to go up to that house. And that's important for two reasons. One, foreshadowing, but two, we now know that they have now made the choice to become complicit in what is happening.
Right.
And there's regret, and there's a sense of, we did this, now I have to, I don't know, it makes it scary.
I wonder if that, I'm sure it does translate into D&D, but it's that feeling of, oh, you fucked up, now you're going to get it, almost.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it gets set up, and so it's like, how is this going to be paid off, kind of?
Yeah, I think that there's something inside us, at least in our culture, that we are more afraid of the consequences of our actions than we are of the random.
Right. And most stories are about consequences being the reason why people fail. Like if people usually just fail for no reason, then they win in the end. And if people die, it's because they fucked up somehow usually. And then that's the moral of the story, is don't fuck up in that way.
Yeah. I'd say making a villain scary, environmental stuff. The thing is, you're having to do so much where you are inhabiting this character, and
right.
Generally I assume these are people who know you. I don't know. It's hard because it's like if you put a miniature on a table, all of a sudden, maybe that it's the miniature.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We had a scary recently when I was playing in the game I was playing. There was this big monstrous Leviathan thing that was attacking the city that we were trying to stop with these with the cool crystals and everything, but we never got a good look at it.
Mm-hmm.
We were never able to engage it in combat. There was a point where a tentacle swiped through the tower we were in and knocked us out into the sea, but it's the reason Cloverfield kind of worked at times.
Right.
Because
it's the same thing. You're waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah. The scariest thing is the thing you don't see.
Yeah.
It's your anticipation and the things you can build up in your head. So,
especially in D&D, because you're actually not seeing things.
So seeing the effects of something your villain is doing after has already done and coming across it.
Yeah,
it's scary. This is why this is a thing that the guy sucks, but this is in some of the Lovecraft stuff that works.
No.
it's because like you run across these people who are all like ruined and destroyed, and you find the scrabblings at the walls and that kind of stuff. That's scarier than that actually happening to your character,
right? Because
the moment it happens to your character, there's a disconnect, I think, between your character, between the game and what is happening, because at that point you're no longer, it's like, it's not what's gonna happen, it's like, well, this is happening, well, no, it's not.
There's that game called Dread where it uses the Jenga. You ever play that?
Oh no,
never played it, but D&D kind of system, RPG system to my understanding, but it uses some sort of resolution mechanic involving Dread or involving Jenga, where you have to take out a brick and then put it on the top, so that the more you play, the more precarious everything gets. And so if it's like, say you have to make a saving throw, now you have to like do this precarious Jenga tower to not die. And then when it falls, it really feels like, everything's falling to pieces around you, and so like the game kind of enforces that. I think like, maybe this is wrong, but isn't horror sometimes about like subverting expectations? So like, I don't know, the idea is like maybe you get like some breathing room after you're being chased by something, and then another big monster just shows up like immediately right in your face, and then like
that's the jump scare. That's the sort of the jump. You're playing with tone. I think to really make things scary, a lot of it can come down to sort of how much are you able to keep your players enthralled,
right? Which is just hard.
It is hard. It can be hard to. A lot of it is going to come down to the sort of how things are at your table,
the atmosphere you set.
The atmosphere is a big thing. I'd say, accept the fact that no true dread is going to survive encounter with the actual monster,
right? Because
that's just really difficult.
Well,
like,
then the monsters has to just be powerful. So we did in that, we did the Waterdeep campaign. I never expected it. They were just chasing this wooden robot called Nimblewright. They were like, oh, let's chase this guy. And then it started fighting them. And man, it just like it took a guy out in like one hit. And they were like, whoa. And then it just became very scary.
Yeah.
So it's like there might be ways to be very scary at combat also to kind of, but it's not going to come from, oh, yeah, it bites your face in a menacing way. And you're like, my organs. That's not going to be where the fear is coming from at that point.
Dude, what if the scary is the uncanny a lot of times. And at that point, I would say lean more on the Steven Universe finale did this really well.
Oh, no spoilers.
I'm not going to go any further than that. But taking something that people are familiar with and upsetting it, or like take it, like it's like have if they've got a familiar, maybe it takes control of what they're familiar and is like speaking through it. Or if if you have like some friends who've been there along the way, maybe they're there now and they're turned against you.
So that's corrupting things that they hold dear or take for granted or take as constants that they rely on in immersion in the world.
Yeah. A big one a thing that really worked in the Adventure Zone is they got to the part that was the scary, creepy place, and they were no longer able to heal.
That's cool.
And that's a big thing. So like take away something that they lean on in a crucial moment. That can really because it
take away their security.
Yeah, exactly. Take away the back. If this was in a previous campaign I played in, we had I came up with the idea that we should all have little bracelets that had a diamond on them.
Mm-hmm.
And that way, if we got killed, all that would have to do would be the cleric would have to get to us and raise dead, resurrection, because we had a diamond on us.
Yeah, it's like having the 2 coins for death or whatever.
Yeah, you could.
But 2 coins for like not death,
for life.
Yeah, for life.
2 coins for life. It's our charity stream.
2 coins for life. We're gonna play Grim Fandango.
We're using tank controls, baby.
Oh.
It's not going to be fun to watch. So it's like if that were to happen, though, if we were to go into a fight, the first thing I would, if I were DMing that group that we were, first thing I would do would be to take those away somehow. And like suddenly it's real. This happened, raising the stakes.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, I'm doing.
And
that
we're not
thing where
talking
I'm
about meat.
over-explaining again.
No, we're doing the thing where we're podcasting.
Oh, good.
It's basically the same thing, but that's a positive version of it.
Yeah, great example. If you haven't seen the film Live, Die, Repeat, Edge of Tomorrow, skip forward 15 seconds. But the whole thing of that movie is that it's a Groundhog Day action movie, and then in the third act, he loses the ability to come back from the dead because all of a sudden you have to raise the stakes. Anyway, you're safe now if you haven't. But go watch that movie.
I'm trying to think of another like VCR term to call it.
Be Kind, Rewind?
Closed captioning off.
Yeah.
That's what that movie was called instead of 30 seconds to live, die, and repeating.
Edge of Tomorrow?
Edge of yesterday.
Edge me tomorrow.
Edge me...
On the dais.
Edge me Amadeus.
Yes.
So... I don't know. Do you want to do one more question, or do you want to do just animal?
Let's animals it up.
Okay.
Let's animals and.
Thanks so much for the questions.
Good
but
questions.
We're gonna animals.
Yeah.
And we got a monster manual right in front of us.
And I'm opening it in the dark.
Oh
in
yeah.
a tunnel. It's. No, that was. Oh, dinosaurs. Well, no. What do we got? Okay. No, actually, yes.
Dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs, in fact, specifically the noble Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Okay.
What
if it had long arms?
Well, problem solved. We
Just
did it.
really long
We did
arms.
it, folks. Take it to the bank.
Like it's like a gorilla. It just like has gorilla arms and tiny little legs. No,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, let's start actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
T-Rex has. I feel like T-Rex is interesting in D&D because, particularly in 5th edition, I almost feel like it exists to be polymorphed into. Because it is the strongest thing that you can. It's the strongest like beast, and like at the level where you get the spell where you can turn into a beast. That is the thing that its CR rating matches what you can turn. It matches the level, which is how that works.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's less than the level. So people like to turn into a T-Rex.
That makes sense. I've never tried that. I always like dinosaurs in D&D just because it's like, it's fantasy. Why not ride a dinosaur instead of a horse or something? I just think it's cool.
I feel like sometimes people have very strict like thematic rules for like what can intersect and what can be where, and they're like, you can't turn into a T-Rex because you don't know what a T-Rex is. It's
right.
Like, okay, well, why not? Come on.
Yeah, come on.
It's like, come on.
Who am I, Beast Boy?
Yeah.
Can he turn into animals he's not seen before? I don't know.
I think he mostly turns into animals he's seen before.
That's fair.
Well,
what do we do? Dinosaurs? No, T-Rex specifically.
T-Rex specifically.
I mean, not for nothing. There is something to just like adding like Roper style tentacles to a T-Rex to really make it a lot more threatening.
What if it has long arms, but they're invisible?
Mm-hmm.
They're on another plane. The reason it looks like it has tiny arms is because it has big. Sorry, I'm allergic to really good ideas.
Its arms are Big B's arms, and they've been banished to other universes.
Oh my God! There's an ad for Kingdom Hearts. There's a poster banner for.
Oh
it.
yeah, available January 29th, 2019.
Oh, it's cool. It's
Slugline.
It's like
nope.
Yeah, it is. KingdomHearts.com.
Yep. I mean, inspiring title or subtitle.
It's a T-Rex. Okay, what if we come up with a way that you can have T-Rexes in a fantasy in this like medieval swords and sorcery fantasy setting?
What does that even mean?
That works. I mean, okay, yeah, they didn't have them. Like they didn't know about these.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we make a T-Rex fit? That's how we could alternate this. How do we make it fit so that people can have T-Rexes without being big babies about it?
I guess I just don't know. I mean, I'm not off board, but I don't know what you mean, because can't they just do that?
Well, like...
They believed in dragons.
Yeah.
They could just say, oh, look, it's a dragon, and it's like a Triceratops coming through.
Okay, well, what if a T-Rex is a failed attempt? I think this is like the third time I've had people try to make a dragon. What if it's the failed attempt to try to make a dragon?
Mm-hmm.
What if a T-Rex is as far as you can get in making a dragon without it having to be inherently magical? because it's like dragons are magical beyond the fact that they're like they have magical breath and stuff. A dragon could not fly.
Yeah.
Because of its mass or whatever.
Yeah, I remember seeing a documentary that kind of posited the idea that dragons were real, and it was like they have these extra bladders for hydrogen and then when they breathe hydrogen out of their platinum teeth, it makes fire. Continue.
I think that documentary was called Rain of Fire.
It's called Fake News.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's like this is like a dragon is like a non-sorcerer's attempt. It's like somebody's attempt to like, I'm gonna breed dragons because I want a dragon empire.
Yeah.
And he tried to make dragons.
No access.
And it's like he tried to make like it's like maybe he could like make them, but he couldn't like vest them with like magical, selfhood. Like he couldn't make them magic. He could just make them somehow. And the closest you can get is a T-Rex.
I keep having the thought, okay, so just like to get it out of my head, I have the image of a T-Rex kind of, cruising around, but above its head is like 3 orbiting fireballs.
Oh, shit.
And I don't know if it's like,
Rex.
I'm trying to make this dragon, he can't spit fire, but what I can do is give him the power to shoot these 3 fireballs.
And and then like a collar of like greater flight or something. So it's like somebody's attempt to make a dragon. Yeah.
Off of the fireballs thing. I mean, he could just use the amulet of fireballs. And he just uses his little arms to grab them.
Yeah, there we go.
He's got boots of flying.
Yeah, he's got big boots of flying that have been put on, or maybe they're regular boots of flying that have just been affixed to just sort of tied to each leg. One each.
So it's like a lizard or a kobold that's just been through the ringer. Just like this guy has just been going.
He's been
trying to make a dragon.
Breeding for size.
Yeah.
For too long, and one of the results has been that the arms have completely atrophied.
He's just got this big old T-Rex. He's like,
its intelligence is a 2, but its strength is a 25.
And it just keeps. It's like, okay, I can't get it bigger. I got a lot of money.
Yeah, he's really into this. This might work in like Dark Sun, actually.
Oh yeah.
This might. You know what? This would really work
by a truck.
This would really work in Dark Sun. I feel like because there's only one dragon in Dark Sun.
What?
Yeah, there's only one dragon in Dark Sun because it's supposed to be sort of a world that was like ruined by magic, and like there aren't really wizards or sorcerers, or if they are, they keep their shit. There's sorcerer kings. There's like a few sorcerers, but each of them like rules the city.
Right, because it destroys the planet to use magic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so what is the one dragon doing?
Oh, I don't remember. All I know is that there is only one. I can't remember. They haven't done a Dark Sun thing in a while.
There can be only one, is my understanding.
Dark Sun.
So what do we call it?
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah.
I want to change Rex into something, and I can't think of what. Tyrannosaur respect.
Tyrannosaur respect.
No. I don't know. What was it again?
Tyrannosaurus wrong.
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah, Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Tyrannosaurus heck.
Tyrannosaurus hex.
Tyrannosaurus hex.
How about Tyrannosaurus hex?
Tyrannosaurus hex.
Tyrannosaurus
I think
hex.
that's fair.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Oh man, you got us there.
It's pretty good, especially because the whole point of it was that it's not magical.
Right.
I love it.
Yeah. No, I know that because that was the guiding, but I just
No, it's good.
I really just wanted to get because isn't it a fucking cool idea? Oh, it's a fucking T-Rex is cruising around. It doesn't look like he sees you. Oh, stay still. He can't see movement. Also, he's got 3 fucking fireballs going around his head. What the hell's going on?
Yeah, he's got like Mifid's tiny meteors or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
It just seems like a cool image. I wanted to say
it's really good. I would love to see it.
I know. Let's make a movie.
Yeah, I hope I get to see this image one day.
That's why we're rebooting the Pirates of Darkwater or whatever.
They never finished it.
We should reboot it.
You know what? Maybe we should. Wait, wasn't it Christian?
I couldn't tell you.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
There's everything wrong with that.
I just feel like I remember there being some kind of pseudo-religious thing happening. I don't know.
That sounds right. I don't know. They're rebooting everything.
Yeah.
It's just like...
It's like Carmen Sandiego.
But the thing is, the hard part is having a decent idea. And all of these ideas are already decent. So if you can just riff on them, then they're still decent ideas. And now that you have a decent idea, you just, apply sensibilities to it. And then, I don't know.
We did it.
We're pitching a new show.
You're welcome.
Coming soon to Comedy Central.
Hey, I got an idea. This would really kill in this town.
Oh, yeah?
What if we, got some pitches and we... did something kind of silly with them. I don't know. I feel like that's I just described 9 different podcasts.
Oh, yeah. That could be good.
Yeah. All right. Well, you're welcome.
I guess then that about does it from us, right? I don't know.
I think that'll about do it. It's Fury Road. It's been Fury Road the whole time.
It's been furious. If you have any questions, mastermanualpod@gmail.com. If you have any fail mails, mastermanualpod@gmail.com.
We do love those.
Oh yeah. We got a Discord. Reddit.
Man, that guy crossed the street like a fucking pro.
Oh yeah, they're loving it.
Raised a closed red umbrella high above his head, looked in both ways, and then led his family across the street. That guy could leave me across the river Styx.
Oh yeah,
I knew what he was doing.
His family are loving it.
They're safe. It looks like they're going to have to watch him play golf for a while, so that's not going to be fun for them. But at least they got there safely.
And it looks like we booked it again.
Mastery is manual.
Dice. Just continuing these dice puns. It's for nice, but it's there's not really any reason to believe.
Dice job. We did a dice job. Goodbye.
See, dice job, it's even more context than just saying dice.
Yeah.